Now what we're doing is we're testing our LEDs. We've got red and green, and the green one doesn't light up quite as brightly as the red and yellow, so we're going to use the red and yellow ones instead of the red and green ones. Now we have a wire here, and the wire is coming from the positive side of our battery. We made that earlier. So we're going to twist the two positive sides of our LEDs together. And usually the positive leg is longer, so just make sure that you twist the two longer legs together, and then you can solder those together. And now we're going to twist the wire that comes from that positive side of our battery onto our LEDs and crimp it with our needle nose to make sure that it's tightly connected. And once it's tightly connected, we'll just allow the solder to flow all over that so we get a nice clean connection. So now we're going to take our resistors, make sure that they work, and we'll turn the switch on. You can see the LEDs work and the resistors are working. So we're going to twist the ends of the resistors to the negative side of our LEDs on both sides. So twisting those together on that side, and then we're going to twist that together on the other side. Okay, so that's awesome. So now we're going to crimp those together, and once we've got it crimped together, we'll hit it with a little bit of solder on those joints to make sure that they don't come undone and that we have good conductivity. And then we'll turn it on and make sure that it works, and you can see that it works. All right, so now we're going to make our eyes, or the bottle caps that go around our eyes. These would be the irises, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our hot glue gun and just in the center of the bottle cap, just put a little dimple in it. We're going to melt just a little bit of it, and that way we can punch through it more easily with our screwdriver. So we've got a mid-sized Phillips head screwdriver. We're just punching through those bottle cap tops by pushing on it really hard. And the one thing you have to do is you kind of have to work the screwdriver back and forth in the bottle cap in order to get the eye to be the right size. You want to use a screwdriver that's just a little smaller than the LED so that it fits snugly over the LED once you get done making the hole. So we've got the eye there, and with the other side we're going to push through, and we'll get it made as well. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you don't want to do this over a glass table or over any kind of table that you could dent with the end of the screwdriver. So you make sure you use a piece of scrap wood so that the screwdriver tip doesn't dent it. So you can see it's not going too fast. We turned it on just a second there, and it wasn't moving very well. And there's a couple reasons for that. It's dragging the back side of it, the side that the switch is over. So we're going to take another paper clip and we're going to bend it into a hook shape, and there's a little hole in the back of the battery holder there, and we're going to just bend it so that there's a third leg, if you will, that supports the back of the battery holder. So now we're going to just put a little hot glue there to hold that third leg or that piece of paper clip in place. Now we're going to turn it on and give it a test run. You can see it's running a little bit better, but it's not really backing up very well. And the reason for that is the axle of the motor, the solid steel shaft in the motor, is slipping on the tabletop surface. So we need to give it some grip. And to do that, we're going to use some heat shrink tubing. This is a 1/16 of an inch heat shrink. All right, now we're going to use our heat gun to get the heat shrink to tighten around the motors there. The axles on the motors, I should say. And then we're going to use some 3/32 heat shrink and slide that over both sides. We'll shrink that down too. And now we're testing it out. And you can see it works a lot better. It backs up as it's supposed to. Now, if the antenna don't bounce into something, it will continue to move forward. So you have to make sure that it's running into walls and things. Check out the next video if you want to see what's inside the switches and motors used for Spout.